and welcome to my very first Hytale tutorial. Actually, it's my very first tutorial of anything ever. And I'm not sure I will do good, but I will try my best. Please bear with me, English is not my native language. So, my little tutorial will happen with this tiny chapel. And I just want to show you how to make your prefabs look more appealing in a randomly generated world by using the world generator. There is a, what's it called? There's a documentation on how to do that without a mod. Unfortunately, I don't understand it. But there is a mod called, I think it's Fabulous Prefabs, or Pretty Fabulous Prefabs, that does the same, and it's very easy to use. But in order to make your your buildings, especially large ones, look more appealing in the randomness, you have to edit them a little bit after you make them, right? So your first step is to create your building, which is this. Then you go to save it, make your selection, just like you would normally do to save it. There's just one setting that is important. So let's make sure we have everything. Go in a little here. Yeah, here. And perfect. So we have our bounding box. And now you want to go and save your prefab. Do not type in the name right now, just do prefab save, which gives you the little window, right? Now you enter a name, let's call it tutorial chapel. And this is important now. Include empty blocks. You have to select that. We need those empty blocks, they are important. And you just click. You can use player as anchor, but we're gonna change the anchor anyway. So just save that. Prefab already exists. That is very true, because yeah. So let's call it chapel tutorial tutorial. I'm not good at typing. Chapy tutorial. Okay. Include empty blocks. Save. Save selection to prefab chapel. Excellent. Now, sorry. Once you've saved your prefab, you go into the prefab editor. Load it. You just go to servers, then chapel tutorial. It's the same, but go to this, we confirm it. And we don't need word tagging right now because there is no water. Let's go. There we go. Now you see your building and you see all those bluish framed clear blocks, right? Those are the air blocks and they are important. We're also not going to touch them, because every single block will make sure that nothing spawns within that building or within that box. You can, if you want that, if you want like make a ruins, or if you want to have parts overgrown, then you can take blocks out. It just depends on what you want to create, right? So, in order to make our buildings look nicer, what we have to do is we have to feather out the base. I was looking at all the prefabs Hytale provides with the base game, and all of them go 5 to 7 blocks down, which makes sense because the world is never fully flat, right? So what we want to do is we want to feather it out so it blends in much better. And to do that, you would just take a random brush tool this is now 8 in width and 1 in height. And we're just going to make stairs. You just cut out. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be super nice. You just cut out 5 to 7 stairs, right? Go all around the building and cut out stair after stair after stair, or terrace, or whatever you would like to call it. Again, it does not have to be perfect. If you miss a block or if you miss a row, don't worry about it. We are going to make it look more natural anyway in the end, so that it blends into the world. Also, don't care about the textures right now. It doesn't matter that this is dirt or red dirt or whatever it is. We will make it all fitting with just a simple brush tool. So I'm gonna feather this out, and I will be right back with you guys. So here I am. I made I have like 7 steps now. Or 6, I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly. And now I just go in and I randomly delete blocks. I make it look a little bit jagged and make it look a little more interesting, because in the end you never know what is going to be visible later, what's not. But at random I will just delete blocks right now. And then I go in and make it here. Sometimes you have like 2 blocks, sometimes you have 3 blocks. I mean, by now you know how the world looks. Just make it more realistic, right? So, this is okay for now. We don't need more. We just take our brush tool, and what I like to do is I take, say, a little bit of grass. I take the full grass here, and maybe a little bit of half grass. No, actually not half grass. And we take a little bit of dirt. And I like to take a little bit of stone. Perfect. Now we have 3 materials. I hit, here you can see. In the legend you can see, if you hit Alt plus middle mouse button, you can set the soil clay to the mask, and then you can, if you press the right mouse button and you're not an idiot like me, you can just paint the clay to the texture blocks that you have just selected, right? And I do this randomly. I go a little bit wild. Clay is usually not found within the world, or at least not in zone 1. So I'm trying to cover as much as possible. And there we go. That's it. This is all it needs. And you're gonna be like, you sure? That doesn't look right. I am sure. It's okay, because we have no air blocks on the outside. Everything that's on the outside will most likely be overgrown or replaced. So our next step is to well, that was my mouse. Yeah, my mouse is a little bit funky today. I'm not sure what's happening. So let's take all of this, make a new bounding box. Come up one, please. Yep. Make sure that we are right on the edge on all sides. On this side too. More here. Go all the way down here. Excellent. So we have a new box. And then you go to the prefab selector tool. You select your prefab. As you can see in the bottom right corner, now it's selected. And you see that I'm an idiot. The bounding box. Yeah. Okay. You first want to select your prefab. I'm sorry. You first want to select your prefab. Then you want to update. Bounding box. I'm sorry. There's so many little steps involved into this. So, let's do this again with the selected bounding box. Okay, so, good. So, the bounding box is selected. Now, you want to go to your prefab tool and you hit the R button. That will update the bounding box. Alright, so there's one more step. As you can see, there's this, you probably have a red block somewhere in your prefab, which is the anchor point. You have to find your anchor point and kind of have to dig it out. What I mean is just dig a hole in there, right into the red block, fill it with something else. We're just gonna fill it with dirt, and you refill it with an air block if possible. Thank you. And we place the anchor onto our base top, right? So I'm gonna put mine in here. Let's just remove this. Right, should be 2 blocks empty, yes. And I'm also gonna put a prefab spawner in here. Why? I don't know. I don't exactly know what the prefab spawner does. But I want to have it in there because I don't want to update them again. So I'm just gonna give this, I'm sure you have to select a different path. I'm just gonna use this, gonna call this chapter right now and just save it. One day I may find out. Right, so I'm gonna place my anchor here, and then you go to the anchor tool, set anchor. And if you have deleted your anchor properly, you should be able to select it. Now you have a new anchor, and I want to put my lid back on. Yeah, that's not right. That's... Where did you go? Yeah. Can I just... Thank you. Okay. And that's it. So we have an anchor. I like to hide them because sometimes I feel like, as you see, it's red now. I feel like you can see them in world where I'm afraid that you can see them. Now, with this done, we can save. How was the comment? I think it was edit prefab edit or prefab edit save. No, it was edit prefab, right? Save. Oh, okay. Excellent. Save. Then we leave this place. Prefab edit exit. Right. And so we are back. And now we can load our prefab. We just go to tutorial. We make sure we raise it. There we go. Raise it. Perfect. And you can, well, okay. I'm not sure what I did here. Just remove that. This is nice. Yes, yes, yes. This is all looking good. Let's have a look in here. Perfect. As you can see, I'm not sure why the spawners are visible. Probably because they're not set properly, but I'm not sure. So, good. This is how you save them for WorldGen. I will show you how to do this and how to add them to WorldGen in a moment. But there's one more thing. Now, there's a reason why there is two little shops. As you can see, I added a pond to this one, and I did this for a very specific reason. Because I'm gonna save this one too now. The reason is water behaves weird when it comes to world generation, because it happens that water just won't spawn. It will vanish. I don't know why that is, but it's very frustrating. So, if you save your prefab, right? Let's call this Chapel Pond. You include the empty. It's even more important that you include the empty blocks here. And you save it. A pond. I'm very good at typing too. I'm, I hate that I'm so nervous. Anyway, let's load it. Pond. Yes, we have the pondy. And I'm gonna enable the world ticking because we have water. And you see, I have water. But if I would save this like this now, the way I showed you the other way, right? This would not just, this would be completely empty except for the plants. The plants would float, but there would not be any water in this. So if you have a prefab that has water, what you need to do is you need to get yourself, find them here. Where are they? Here. These empty air blocks. And you have to dive down and you have to go to the bottom of your water and add these blocks everywhere to your water. On each and every corner, because if you do not do that, the water will be overridden from the bottom. And only if you do this, and the weird thing is it doesn't properly reload it if you ever load the prefab. But if you don't do this, you will not have water in your prefab later on. Excellent. So you don't see that from the top, but you know it from the bottom. And now you can save it just like the others, and you will have water in your pond later on when spawning. This is a very important step that cost me, I think, 2 days to figure out how to finally have water. All right, so let me copy my files into the mod folder and then find it in World, and I will show you how it looks in World. Okay, so let's see if we can find if we can find it. Here's my library. It's not updated yet, so maybe we can find our prefab. I set the spawn rate pretty high right now, so that there's a chance we actually do find it. And oh yeah, this is a good example. See, I have not updated this. This is how it looks if you only make a flat base. This is how buildings will look. Do you? It's horrible. You don't want that. And oh look, we have it. Look right over here. There's our little chappy. See, it's right there. Okay, here's a little bit of a harder edge. But there, you see? It's feathered nicely. There's trees growing over it, there's plants growing over it, and this is what I said about the cut. You cannot prevent that. I tried everything to prevent this, but you can't, because the random spawn, you will just have some trees cut off. But that happens with every prefab, not just yours. Also with the ones that come with the game, that have a bounding box, that because usually you can remove this if you don't really need it, right? You can make this, save this with a harder edge. You don't have to save it with a straight edge. Like if you save it like this, it's even easier or even smoother. Just play around with it. You know how to install these now so that they fit somewhat nicely, and just play around with it. At least I hope I could help a little bit, because that was quite a bit of a topic that we have discussed in the forums. Holy, what is happening in here? I'm sorry. What kind of party is happening in here? Okay, maybe there's a few too many mobs. Sorry, guys. What are we doing? There's even a boss mob in here, and a randomly spawned chest. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these guys be. And my little wavy hand here, my little torch hand is saying goodbye. I hope I could help you a little bit. If you have questions, there's a frog. Okay. If you have questions, just write them in the comments. I will try to answer them as fast as possible and too good as possible. I'm sorry this is a horrible tutorial. I'm not used to do this. But I hope you could learn something. And if not, I will just have to redo this tutorial. Alright, I catch you sometime later when I make more pretty giant prefabs, because apparently I like building big things. And this little thing took me... I need to stop running. Okay, catch you later, bye bye!